Hello once again. I'm going to continue today. Last time I was very successful in getting some very basic 3D audio implemented. I got some sounds playing from different directions. Uh-oh. I don't know what that means. Can I just rebuild? There we go. Yeah, so if I move around, I got the light making this high-pitched sound. I got the base of this guy's feet here making a different sound, and it seems to come from all different directions, so that's really good. I'm really happy with the way that came out. So today, all I want to do today, not a huge agenda day, I just want to kind of clean up my audio here, my audio code, and formalize it a little bit so that I can play sounds from the game state and not hear from the operating system side of things. So I don't think, let me get rid of this. I don't want that ugly clear color. So like with all the graphics, like everything I'm rendering, I am passing a buffer to the game state, having the game state fill that buffer with data, and then the operating system takes that data and renders it. I don't think for the sound, at least for now, I'm not going to follow that same principle. What I think I'm going to do is just pass pointers to these functions directly to the game state. So the game state can then just call these functions directly itself because there's nothing game specific that it needs to make these functions work. So I'm hoping that that will work, and I don't think I would need to change it, but again, I might need to, and if I do, then so be it. All right, so before I do that, I'm gonna clean up a couple things. So this audio emitter, when I made that, I was under the assumption that the audio emitter was kind of tied hand in hand with the sound that it's playing, but that's not really true. You kind of have to tell it what sound to play as it's playing. So this does not actually need to be part of the audio emitter. And where did it go? There it is. So when I tell the audio emitter to play, I'm now going to pass in a pointer to the sound buffer and the size of the sound buffer. So buffer size. And so here is not going to be part of the audio emitter. So that should do that. And then that's of course going to cause errors when I'm trying to actually play the sound. Oh yeah, here we go. So now when I'm playing the sound, I have to say which sound I'm playing. So this is going to be sound byte, and that's going to be the sound or the length of tote. And then this one is sound byte 2 with the same length. So hopefully that doesn't break anything, and it does. Oh yeah, so when I'm creating the audio emitter, I don't need to do this anymore. There we go. Okay, yeah, so everything's still working. And that seems like that's all I really need to do. So what I'm going to do now is come down to my OS functions and make some pointers to functions that I can call. So this is going to be for creating the audio emitter. Create audio emitter. And do I need anything for that? Yes. No, I don't actually anymore, because that is now separate from the audio emitter. So when I'm creating them right here, I could leave all that out. Which is not really 100% true. I need to, at some point, specify what type of wave format I am. Oh, wait a minute. So this is like a buffer. So, okay, so this is like different, but I'm gonna just hard code some stuff for now. Where did it go? All right, so it's gonna play that many bytes per second, and samples per second is this. Nope, just that. Okay, so that's really dumb. I'm gonna actually put a comment here. Fix. I'll just put it right here. I'll say fix this. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, yes, yeah, so because for now every audio emitter I create is going to have the same format for all of that stuff, and then so I don't know. I don't think that'll change anything except for a missing semicolon. Where's that? 163. Oh yeah, so this now. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right, so I got the function to create the audio emitter. I'm going to keep the voids with the voids. And now I need one for updating the dynamics of it. And this one for playing the audio emitter. Oops. All right, so now when I create my game state and initialize it, I need to pass on those functions. So why is this one there? Oh, whatever. Create audio emitter is the address of create audio emitter. Wasn't it play audio emitter? Yeah, why is that not showing up? Oh well. All right, I probably mistyped something there. Definitely. Void should be preceded by a semicolon. What are you talking about? Saguinus at H161. Oh yeah, that would help, wouldn't it? There we go. Okay, so now in my actual game, I'm going to take these out of here. I'm going to take this out of here and put that in my initialize game state function. And then actually as part of my game state, I'm going to make I'll make an array of audio emitters right now. I don't know if that's the way I want to continue doing that. Okay, so right now my game state's only going to have 2 audio emitters, but then when I initialize the game state, so states, it's just called emitters. So the first one is going to now try to use the new function. So state dot os functions dot create audio emitter. So that shouldn't error out, but I am going to get errors over here because these audio emitters no longer exist. So let's comment that out. These should be here, but also don't need those. So what else do we got? Okay. So working as expected. So now I created the audio emitter. Let me go ahead and do the other one. All right, so now over here, actually I already got the function. So if, yeah, let me get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. But let me check if key pressed once. Oh, wait, actually I could just say C key space. So if I press the space key, then I should be able to then say, no, hold on, state os functions dot play audio emitter, passing in the states emitters at 0 and the buffer. Oh yeah, I don't have actual buffer for this. But I do have my permanent storage buffer, right? Or did I not make a permanent one? I just have a temporary one. So let me make a permanent one then, or a long-term one, I should say. Then I probably need a pointer to that too. So, and what does that U8? I guess it doesn't matter. So U32, I would say U64. Long-term buffer pointer. Let's make it an actual pointer, and then I'm just gonna cheese it now. What should I do? All right, so I'm going to allocate a whole gigabyte. I don't know if that's going to work, but key press function does not take one argument. You're right, I got to pass in the game state. More errors. Syntax error, what is that? Saguinus 231. Oh yeah, still filling out this thing. So I got to play the audio emitter. I'm going to play, okay, so I still got to figure out this. Okay, so then my all right, so then game state is then going to have, it's got memory storage. Okay, so I'm going to do this here. Let's see, pointer, sound buffer 1, sound buffer 2, buffer 1 size, buffer 2 size. Okay, again, all temporary. Okay, so then before this, oh wait. Yeah, okay. So state, no, it's this one. Okay, so the sound buffer 1 is going to equal signed 8 casting of the states storage dot long-term pointer. Long-term buffer, that's what it's going to be. Before I do that, let me say state storage dot long-term buffer pointer also is pointing at storage dot long-term buffer. So that I guess doesn't really matter in this case, but to be proper, so then I'm going to take this, increment it by the size of the buffer, which is that. So actually, let me do this after I create the actual sound file or the sound waves. Okay, so then we're increasing that by tot. And then once that's done, I'm going to say state buffer 1 size is equal to, why can't I figure this out? There we go. It's equal to tot as well. And so buffer 2 is now pointing to that buffer. I'm going to increase that by the same amount and then set buffer 2 size to the same amount. Okay, so now in theory, I have the sound. Oh, no, I don't, because the sound is here. So that's why Okay, so let me do this. Let me get rid of soundbite and soundbite. And so this should actually be put here. And this one put here. And then instead of soundbite, we're going to use sound buffer. Okay, let me just see if that compiles. And it doesn't, because I'm missing something on 239. Oh yeah, still haven't figured out this thing. Oh yeah, I have actually. So now I'm gonna play state dot sound buffer 1, and that's gonna be the size of buffer 1 size. Okay, that should shut the compiler up. The compiles, does it actually play any sounds though? Ooh, it does. All right. Sweet. So now it's not doing any sort of dynamics because I'm not telling it to update the dynamics, but that's fine. Let's see if we can get the other sound to play as well. So this is going to be, again, the G key, I suppose. And I think all I got to change is change that to a 1. Change, oops. All right, so that should be a 2, and that should be a 2. Okay, cool. So now I just got to update them, and that should be it. OS functions dot update audio emitter dynamics. The audio emitter in this case is state emitters 0. 0, and then the listener is always going to be the camera. Oh yeah, it's negative the camera. state camera. And then this is the listener's right, which is the state's camera's right vector. Oh, this is getting kind of tedious, to be honest. Okay, so then the other one I wanted to put at the light position. Oh, there we go. Oh, updating the wrong one. Hold on, it's backwards for some reason. Oh, I have negative right. That did not need to be there. That's better. This one. Okay, cool. That is working. I got the sounds in my game state. I can clean up this stuff here. And let me see. Let me go to my to-do list here. Implement 3D audio. For now, sure. Dynamic code reloading. Yeah, I got that working yesterday. So that's it. So next, canvas render, function timing, mapping update constant buffers. Yeah, okay. So I know it hasn't been that long. It's been a pretty short stream, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I think I did okay. Yeah, it's cleaner, and I got sounds playing. Yeah, so next time I'll probably figure out how to make multiple channels sounds. Maybe if I want some sounds with a single channel or something. I don't know. Maybe everything will just be set like that. I don't know. I'll figure it out then. But let me go ahead and save what I got here. I'm going to say moved. I'm just going to leave it as cleaned up audio after all. All right, and with that, I'm out of here. Thank you, everybody.